All right, this is Jeff Zimmerman with FightNews.com. I've got rising super lightweight contender Kenneth Simms Jr. It's got a big fight December 17th on the Frank Martin Michael Rivera show in Vegas on Showtime. How you doing, Kenneth?
How you doing? How you doing? I'm good.
Yeah. So you're out in Vegas and you reside in Vegas now, right?
No, I just do my camps out here. I'm still in Chicago,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
whenever I have camp, we always come to Vegas for camp. So
Okay. And, for a lot of people that may not know your story, you obviously had a hell of an amateur career,
mm,
2012 Olympic trials. You lost by 1 point to the Olympian Jose Ramirez, who has become a world champion, has done really well.
mm.
Take me back to that time and just, going through that experience and, losing to Jose.
Well, I thought I won that fight. I remember it like clearly, like it was yesterday. But at the Olympic trials, I was young. I had just turned 17, so it was a learning experience. Because at first, when I qualified for the Olympic trials, I wasn't really thinking like, I guess I didn't know how good I was at boxing until that moment when I qualified for the Olympic trials. Because like as a junior, like say like the kids tournaments and stuff, like I win sometimes, but a lot of times I come in like third place, maybe. Like a lot, I come in third or fourth, make it to the semifinals. But then once I switched over to they call it open, the men's elite division,
Mm-hmm.
then I started winning. So that's when I realized like I could maybe do something with boxing. Like that's when I started liking it and started like taking it serious. So the Olympic trial, that was like a kickstart for me. But with that fight with Jose Ramirez, I thought I won the fight.
Have you shared that with him?
No, I haven't talked to him. I seen him before. We ain't never talked about that.
Okay, so
I
he'll
love to get
hear.
that fight a rematch, to get back in the pros for that fight. But
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that because you're right there in the thick of the 140-pound division, and Ramirez is coming back. So we'll get into that a little bit. But you mentioned kind of starting off, you weren't really fully into it because maybe you just didn't realize how good you were. You weren't a gym rat when you first got into boxing, right?
uh, I mean, I was, but I didn't want to be. So like I was always in the gym, but not because I wanted to be. It's just because my dad was there and I was with him. So so I just was a gym rat. But I didn't like boxing. I didn't want to do it at first. But I was a gym rat just because like I was in the gym all the time because my dad was there, not because I was like, this is where I want to be.
Right. And then gradually, I guess
Yeah.
as you realized the talent, you
Eventually
started to get
yeah,
more into it.
eventually I started liking it. And also it was just like maybe like I say not as far as like the boxing part, but like it being other kids around that were in the gym with me, it made it like a little better.
Hmm.
Because at first it wasn't that many. It was me and then my cousin started with me, but they all quit. So it was just me. And then the gym started like getting like groups of kids and that was around my age and stuff, and it got better for me.
Yeah. What's the talent like in Chicago? I know historically Chicago, my family's from Chicago. My grandfather used to box in the
Okay.
amateurs. So I know it's a fight city, a fight town historically. What is it like these days?
Uh, I think it's talent in Chicago. I just think that people in Chicago maybe don't apply their talent.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take it serious enough to get to a point that the world can see all the talent we got in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So listen, you come out of the gate, you turn pro and very successful, and then had a couple losses
Mm,
and realized something wasn't right. I think you had some nutritional issues that you discovered,
mm,
which I know from covering like Errol Spence in Dallas for several years. He never had a nutritionist. Now
yeah.
he has one. But talk about that and just kind of making that decision and how much it's helped you.
That's funny. I was just with Earl last weekend, and we was talking about how much a nutritionists make a difference. Because I went to his gym in Dallas.
Oh, you were
Uh,
there. Okay.
yeah. Uh, well, so I work with perfecting athletes, and they made like a total difference. Like I told my team, I was like, if they can't do my fight week or like camp and stuff, then y'all might as well find me another date to fight whenever. Like, because I'm not fighting without them. Because that's how much of a difference I see. Like it makes from the first fight I work with them. I could tell. Like they
Wow.
know.
So is it
Like
more of a physical thing, mental, or
I
both?
think
I
it's
would
both.
imagine.
I
Yeah.
think it's both. I think it's both. Just knowing that my body has everything that it needs. Because like as far as like training wise, I know I'm in great shape, but I also know that even though you're in great shape, sometimes your body needs certain things that you don't know about.
Hmm.
And so I know that they know what my body needs just based off all the questions they ask me, all the info they get from me. They ask me how I feel, everything. Like I know they know what my body needs as far as food wise and nutrition. So I think it's mentally and physically it helps with them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. And I think for all young fighters, coming up, and even guys like Errol Spence,
Mm-hmm.
one of the pound for pound best to really see the benefits of nutrition. So talk about being in Dallas, though. I'm based out of Dallas, so I've covered Spence. I know Derek James very well. Covered Frank Martin. What were you doing out there? Obviously, you're on Frank
Oh,
Martin's undercard.
yeah, we just went there for we drove up from Houston because I trained in Houston for a week before I came to Vegas. We just went there for a day. I sparred with Frank and Earl was there, and I know Earl since I was like 15 or 16, so we was just talking afterwards after training. But it was just a quick trip. We was there for about a couple hours and then went back.
Okay, all right, cool. And Frank Martin, obviously, you know, Errol's been, propping him up. He fights under his man down promotions. What
Yeah,
was it like? You're going to be on Frank's undercard, and Frank is, starting to get some of that buzz. How was that sparring with Frank?
that was a good sparring. Good work.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, that's all. I don't really put too much into it. Sparring, I don't really. It was good. It was good work for me though. Good work for him. So.
right, right. Good deal. So let's talk about this though. You're on the rise now, man. You had some setbacks,
Mhm.
nutrition, coming around, feeling as good as ever physically and mentally, and then you had the breakout fight against Elvis Rodriguez. Talk about that.
That was the first fight I worked with the nutritionist. So, um, like even in camp, like just me being hydrated the entire time was different. Like them telling me how much water I need to drink, like leading up to like during fight week. Like before that, in fight week, I'd be like sucking myself dry.
Mm.
But with them, that was the first fight. Like it was just like drink this much this day, drink this much this day, drink this, drink this. So like I wasn't dehydrated leading up to that weigh-in the whole week. Like I felt good the whole week. Usually I feel like sluggish and tired, but they made a big difference. And then this training, I was in camp. I was like, I guess you could say that's the first time I had like a really like a professional training camp.
Hmm.
So, cause then in that camp, it was a lot of people getting ready to fight. We were all like training together. Me, Shakur, Crawford, a couple other guys. It was just like it was a good camp for me. That's why, and I learned from even though my last couple camps haven't been with them, I learned from them like what it takes to be in camp as a professional.
Being with Shakur and
Yeah, and
Terence,
Terence. Yeah,
uh, everyone, did you did you by chance talk to either Terence or Errol about their fight falling through, or do you not go there?
no, I haven't. No, I didn't talk to neither one of them about it. I don't try to get into all of the business side of stuff. Like Terrence, that's like my big brother, and Earl, we cool. I knew him since I was a kid, so I don't ever really ask about them. They fight. Like when I seen Earl 2 weeks ago, I didn't say nothing about that fight.
Right, right. Who would you like in that fight?
Uh, see, I don't really. I guess I answered this question, but I don't like answering this question. Uh, but I would have to root for Terrence because, like, I talk to him all the time, and like whenever he's like in Chicago, he calls me. He comes, so I gotta root for Terrence, like, cause he's like really, he like my big brother. So,
Gotcha. But it's a tough. I get it though.
but it's a good fight. Either one of
It's a
them can
good
win.
fight. It's a good
They
fight.
so
So,
they two top guys at welterweight. Like, so it's a either one of them can win that fight.
right. Let's hope it happens for everybody's sake, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
But let's talk about you though. You're in a stacked division, man. 140 pounds. I mean, you got guys like Regis who just fought, um, is a killer. Josh Taylor's still hanging around there. You got Teofimo, who I think fights this weekend as well. You got the guys moving up from 135 eventually in Devin. You got Tank. You got King Rai, Shakur. Talk about the group of talent that is just stacked all around you. And where do you see yourself in that mix?
I mean, it's great talent at the weight division. I think I'm right up there with the best of them. I think I just need to prove it. I think most of them know that I'm right there with them. Like internally, they might not say it out loud, but I think most people in the world that know me and have seen me, they know like I'm there with those top guys, and I just need a chance to prove it.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention Jose Ramirez. I think
Yeah,
you even mentioned you would love another crack at him in the pros.
yeah, yeah. I would. We was kids. He was like 18, 19, and I was 17 when we fought in the amateur. So I love to avenge that amateur loss in the pros where it really count.
Right, right. Well, it's exciting. Let me ask you this though. I know the Spence Crawford one is a tough one for you, but what about Tank and Ryan Garcia, which is essentially the next super fight on the calendar?
Uh, I got Tank. I think Tank wins that, but I think people underestimate Ryan Garcia. I do think that, but I just think Tank could do more, and Tank is a lot more versatile, and he had that equalizer. They both have it. They both have great power, but I think Tank's is a little. I won't say well. I think his power is better, but I think Tank like sets his power up, and he can do more stuff in the ring than Ryan.
Do you think he knocks him out?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, yeah. A potential firefight, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight though while it lasts. I think because I think, like I said, I think a lot of people underestimate Ryan Garcia.
Right. So let's talk about your fight, Kenneth, and we'll wrap it up here in a few minutes. But you're fighting a guy, Nicholas DeMario. What,
Mm-hmm.
what what do you know about Nicholas, and what does he bring to the table?
Uh, so I just got him last week because I'll be honest, this fight we went through like seven guys turned the fight down or like couldn't get approved for some reason. I don't know why. So with him, I seen him fight one time. I was at one of his fights live actually when he fought Josue Vargas here in Vegas. He looked like he's a little awkward, aggressive. I mean, that fight, one thing stood out. He bit him on the shoulder, so,
Hmm.
so I would never forget that fight because he bit Josue on the shoulder like in the middle of the fight. But he was aggressive. He came to win that fight. He dropped Josue twice, I think. It was a good fight. He kind of lanky, got good length, but he's more. It seemed like he liked to be aggressive and try to make it rough.
So now you got to worry about not only his fighting style, but getting bit.
Yeah, I hopefully I don't get bit. I don't think hopefully he learned his lesson from Biden the last fight.
Right, right. Talk about your style, Kenneth. What is your style in the ring?
Uh, I think with me, I'm very versatile. I didn't like early on in my career. I was like I had that, but I didn't really like showcase it just because I didn't. I was still fighting like an amateur basically, but now I'm like settled in and I can. My last couple of fights actually, I've been like I wanted like some to like show like I wasn't the Elvis fight. I did a little bit, but he didn't really engage with that. I was trying to like everybody knows I could box from outside. Like everybody knows like I'm a good counter puncher. I could jab, but like I feel like something that I could do that a lot of people today don't do is like I'm really good on the inside. In my last couple fights, I haven't got the opportunity to show it because everybody like I don't know, like I'm a boxer, but my last couple fights I've been like coming forward because I don't know what it is, but everybody they've been like moving away from me. So
you're on the attack a little bit more, it seems.
yeah.
All right. Well, good deal, man. Well, listen, what should we expect on December 17th in Vegas during the holiday season?
You can expect a great show from me. I'm in great shape. I'm in great condition. I'm sharp, ready to just do what I gotta do. Take care of this one. And then I'm not looking past nobody because I know like for me in my position, I know the next fight could be the big one for me at any point. So I'm trying to treat everyone like the big one, no matter who it is. So I'm trying to treat this one like the big one. So I'm gonna perform like this the big one.
That's a great attitude. Is this going to be on Showtime, your fight?
I believe it's gonna be on the stream. It was supposed to be on Showtime, but the opponents we couldn't get it in time. So I think it's gonna be on the Showtime stream.
All right. All right. Well, listen, man, I certainly appreciate the time. And Kenneth Simms Jr. got another fight. Like he says, every fight's a big fight. December 17th, you got to win the one in front of you for the hope to get to the big one. And listen, people inside boxing know who you are. But I think, you know, with your performance against Elvis and what you have with your nutrition, I'm looking for big things for you in the future.
Thank you.
You'll get that revenge fight against Jose Ramirez. And we'll be watching, man. Best of luck December 17th against Nicholas DeMauro on a big Frank Martin, Michael Rivera card in Vegas, the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas. Appreciate the time, Kenneth.
Thank you.